Okay, welcome everybody. And firstly, congratulations to all of you for making it to not just your tier finals, but basically to the league finals. This is basically the grand finale of the B612 quiz. I'm not even going to bother pretending like I need to explain the rules. You guys clearly know it better than most. If everybody is all set, then good luck to everybody, and we can get started. Okay, in seat one is Jayakant. Jayakant, 2 questions for you. We'll be starting now. We're already, 1 second. I seem to have screwed that up. Give me a minute. Good to go again, I think. Fingers crossed. Let's see what happens. Can you see the screen again?
Yeah.
Okay, Jayakant, 2 questions for you again. There you go. What group of microorganisms are classified under a separate kingdom of living things outside of plants, animals, and protozoa and Monera? They're placed so because of the presence of chitin in their cell walls, the second most abundant polysaccharides on Earth. The study of this field is known as mycology.
This is fungi or mushrooms?
Fungi is right. It's the answer I'm looking for. Well done. Your second question. With 135 million followers, this TikTok dancer is the platform's biggest star, often called the Queen of TikTok. Who is this TikTok celebrity who did a voice role in the animation Star Dog and Turbo Cat and was featured in the video of Baby Rexa's number, Baby I'm Jealous? Her sister is also a TikTok star and has the 9th most followed account on the platform.
This is D'Amelio.
That's correct. Well done. 2 questions for you now, Kunal.
Yeah.
Folk etymology is when new words are adopted from a foreign language, but they're misheard or erroneously recorded, and an attempt is made to make them more English sounding. What English word do we get from the Old English word that, where guma means man? When this word was being adopted, English already had a similar sounding word that meant stable boy or manservant. This caused speakers to simplify the word to something more English sounding. Ten seconds.
Bodyguard.
It's not bodyguard. Achhu?
Bridegroom.
Bridegroom is correct. Well done. Okay. Second question for you, Kunal. The Nike skateboard dunk line called FLOM was created by artist Futura in a limited 24-pair run. An acronym of the first half of a biblical quote, FTLOM, consisted of multiple currencies and denominations used as panels. What is the full form of FLOM? Ten seconds. Need an answer.
Pass.
Passes to Shashwat. Shashwat, need an answer.
Pass.
Passes to Jayakant.
For the love of money.
For the love of money is correct. Well done. Just 2 questions for you now. The show set in Gotham City, abandoned by Batman, has superheroes like Huntress, Batgirl, and Dinah Lance taking over the war on crime. Cancelled after just 1 season, which DC Comics TV show is this, whose lead actors had a cameo during the Crisis crossover of the Arrowverse?
Teen Titans.
It's not Teen Titans. Shashwat.
Pass.
Passes to Kunal.
Pass.
Passes to Jayakant.
So this is a ongoing show, or there are like multiple shows in Hunters Backers, Batgirl and Dina Lance. I'm not sure which one you're talking about. This is like an older show which got cancelled early on. This is before the current series. So
I can't clarify. Can you give me an answer?
I'll pass.
This passes. The answer we were looking for is Birds of Prey.
Yeah, that's a very old show. Birds of Prey is like much before Arrowverse. This is like it used to be there in the 2000s, early 2000s.
That's right. The actors, however, have made a cameo in the Arrows.
Okay.
Okay. Second question for Achyuth. The word Patagonia derives from Patagon, the name given to a local tribe who were mistaken for a tribe of giant people upon initial contact by which explorer who visited the region in 1520 as part of his explorations. He also lends his name to a strait nearby.
Magellan.
Say again, please.
Magellan.
Magellan is correct. Well, two questions for you now, Shashwat, to end the round. Italian poet Dante's work Inferno follows him traveling through 9 circles of hell, aided by the poet Virgil. When Dante gets to the 3rd circle of hell, he is confronted by which mythical 3-headed monster? In Greek myth, the monster guarded the gates to the underworld on behalf of Hades, inspiring J.K. Rowling to pen the character Fluffy in Harry Potter, the Philosopher's Stone.
Cerberus.
This is correct. Your second question. Which freshwater lake in the Andes on the border of Bolivia and Peru is the largest in South America by size? Located at a 12,000 feet height, the highest navigable lake in the world, was of prime importance to the Incans. Ten seconds.
Titicaca.
Titicaca is correct. Okay, back to you, Jayakant. Two questions to you. Despite first contact by Magellan, the Philippines Islands were colonized only 44 years later, along with which island? Magellan was also the first European to make contact with the island, which is now part of the United States of America.
So by island, you mean a singular island? Is it? As in, it's not like a.
In this case, I don't know, so I might not be able to clarify.
Okay.
Answer now.
I'll say Hawaii.
It's not Hawaii. Kunal?
Puerto Rico.
It's not Puerto Rico. Shashwat?
Guam.
Guam is correct. Second question for you, Jayakant. In Dante's Inferno, what was the name given to the first circle of hell? This is one of the 4 parts of hell where those who have sinned but have not been condemned to the hell of the damned reside. This is also the name of a West Indian dance in which the dancer bends backward to pass under a horizontal path.
Limbo.
Limbo is correct. Two questions now. No, second question for now. Sorry, this is first question for now. Which former Zimbabwean fast bowler captained the national cricket team in multiple spells but had a fraught relationship with the cricket board? He is the country's all-time leading wicket taker in both tests and ODIs, with 260 and 239 wickets each. It was banned in 2021 from coaching for 8 years by ICC on grounds of corruption.
Heat streak.
Is correct. Your second question. In 2014, the National Legal Services Authority won a petition in the Supreme Court. One of the primary petitioners was Gauri Sawant, the director of the Sati Church Chowgi and a goodwill ambassador of the Election Commission in Maharashtra. You may recognize her from a progressive Wix TV ad in 2017. What issue does the judgment touch upon? Ten seconds.
Having a separate gender on the voter ID card.
I will prompt you once.
Acceptance of trans people in the voting, registered as trans people in the voting registration.
I'll accept that you've gotten all the elements. Trans as a separate gender was the answer we're looking for, and we did cover that. Two questions now for you. Achyuth.
Harman, just give me a second.
Yes.
Give me.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm back.
Two
Yeah.
questions for you, Achyuth. The word beast originally meant simply animal, but when its meaning shifted to its current one, that is a large or dangerous animal, the shift threw the phrase blank and the beasts, of course. Speakers then replaced beasts with a similar sounding word, even though that made even less sense. What's the new phrase? Ten seconds.
Flora and fauna.
It's not that. Shashwat?
Birds and the bees.
That's correct. So birds and the bees was originally birds and the beasts, and we renamed that after the meaning of beast changed. Second question for you. Which is the most followed brand account on TikTok, the only one from its country of origin in the top 50 followed list? While the product was exclusive to its country of origin, it became available worldwide only after the merger with Musical.ly in 2017. Countries such as Pakistan, Bangladesh, Indonesia, and some others have banned the usage of this. Ten seconds.
Spotify.
It's not Spotify. Jayakant?
Just TikTok itself.
It's TikTok itself. Well done. Question now for Shashwat. What genus of fungi, a type of yeast, is the most common cause of fungal infections worldwide? Thrush is one such infection that causes the white patches to form on the tongue. These generally live on mucosal surfaces in humans and are usually harmless, only infecting us opportunistically. Ten seconds.
Aspergilli.
It's not that. Good. That's to Achyuth.
Us.
Jayakant?
Us.
This is the answer here is Candida. I'll put that in the chat as well, in case I'm pronouncing it correctly. Okay, second question for you, Shashwat. Magellan's exploration was funded by the Spanish crown in order to reach the Spice Islands through the Pacific route, as the eastern route around Africa was controlled by the Portuguese. What is the modern name of the Spice Islands, an archipelago that is rich in cloves, nutmeg, and mace that spiked colonial interest? Ten seconds. It's an answer.
Malacca. Islands of Malacca.
It's absolutely right. Well done. Okay, we're back to Jayakant. Two questions for you. Nike's skateboard is, you can notice that the order got changed a little later, so we're entering the quad now. Nike's skateboard dunk series is a sneaker line that has seen many collaborations and dedications. Nike collaborated with an artist in 2021 whose eponymous line of shoes was due to be launched in December 2021. However, due to the horrific events that took place in November at a festival headlined and created by him, this collaboration was indefinitely postponed. Name either the tragic event or the artist.
This is Astro World, the concert which went back.
It's correct. Do you know the artist as well?
Travis Scott.
Travis Scott. The second question. What English word is a makeover of the French word that means sleepy? similar to dormant. The name originally referred to this animal's tendency to hibernate in winter. Folk etymology happened, and the new word ended up sounding a lot like the already existing English word for the animal.
The dormouse.
It's dormouse. Two questions for you, Kunal. First published in 1942, the common name for this series of novels and short stories was penned only 9 books later, in 1951 by the publishers Hodder and Stoughton. Majority of the stories take place in the Welsh countryside, nearby the fictional home of Kirin Cottage. What is the series called? Also the collective term for Hibernian FC's forward line of the 1940s. Ten seconds.
Hardy Boys?
It's not Hardy Boys. Actually,
Pass.
Shashwat.
Famous Five.
Famous Five is right. Second question for you, Kunal. When Dante reaches the fifth circle of hell representing heretics, which Greek philosopher and sage does he meet with, the founder of an eponymous school of thought? The school opposed Platonism and later Stoicism, and also gave us an English language word for sensual enjoyment of the fine things in life, like wine and food. Ten seconds.
Epicurus.
This is correct. Well done.
Nice.
Two questions for you, Achyuth. Which hypersaline lake in South Australia, some 700 kilometers north of Adelaide, is the largest lake in the continent of Oceania? Although it sometimes dries up and becomes smaller, it does retain the title for most parts of the year. It is named after the first European explorer to see it, also once a controversial governor of Jamaica. You may also give me the original name if you want to really show off. Seconds.
Cook's Lake.
Not that. Right.
Pass.
Passes to Jayakanthan.
Pass.
Passes to Shashwat.
Pass.
This is Lake Erie.
Where?
Lake Erie. Just put that in the chat.
Okay.
I will also give you the original name. Question for Achyuth again. Guru Van Rossum wrote this programming language as a successor to ABC at a time when he was also busy watching a particular BBC comedy sketch. What did he create? That was given a one-word title based on the sketch.
Python.
Python is right. Do you need more than the first 3 words?
No.
No, I thought so. Okay. 2 questions now for Shashwat. In 1999, as Will Smith's clout grew, he turned down the lead role in which sci-fi blockbuster in a move that is frequently referred to in lists of worst decisions ever made by actors. Smith explained that he found the script too complicated and was skeptical over the film's high dependence on some extremely ambitious special effects. His quote was, "If it doesn't work, the movie looks ridiculous."
Matrix.
Matrix is correct. Question. At the height of the spice trade in the 17th century, the Dutch ceded an arguably unimportant piece of land, Manhattan, to the British in exchange for Run, a tiny island in the Banda Island chain in Indonesia. This was done to secure the Dutch monopoly on which spice? The hallucinogenic properties of the spice make its importation to Saudi Arabia legal. Seconds.
Nutmeg.
Nutmeg is correct. I have some spectators today, so I should probably mention what else I read. There's an intense hangover involved. So if anybody's headed for their kitchen right now to try this out, please think twice. Okay. Second question. No, it's two questions now for Jayakant. Which of Arthur Conan Doyle's series of stories and novels on Sherlock Holmes has the Indian Sepoy Mutiny of 1857 as a central plot point? This is also the first work that features Mary Morstan, Dr. Watson's future wife. In the BBC series Sherlock, starring Cumberbatch, this work was one of the episodes, but they altered the title a tad rather interesting. In seconds. I need an answer.
Yeah. I'd say Scandal in Bohemia.
It's Scandal in Bohemia. No?
Pass.
Passes to Achyuth.
Pass.
Passes to Shashwat.
Sign of 4.
Sign of 4 is right. Do you know the BBC episode as well?
Sign of 3.
Sign of 3. Okay. Second question for Jayakant. This venue based in Sheffield, South Yorkshire, England, opened in 1971. Although it hosts regular theatrical performances, it is best known for hosting professional snooker's most prestigious tournament, the World Snooker Championship, which has been held annually at the venue since 1977. What is it called? A reference to the local steel industry in Sheffield.
On the Crucible.
Crucible. Question now. This programming language, named after a painter, takes images as input instead of the usual text. The images, consisting of 20 solid colors, are remarkably similar to the abstract works of the artists who drew blocks of primary colors on a white background, often separated by black lines. What is the name of the programming language?
Yet.
Yet is right. Done. Second question for you. Most of Europe's largest lakes are located on the western side of Russia that forms part of the continent. Which of these lakes, situated near St. Petersburg in the Republic of Karelia, is the largest to be entirely in Europe?
Caspian Sea.
It's not Caspian Sea. Sure.
Pass.
Passes to Jayakant.
Pass.
Passes to Shashwat.
Pass.
Passes. The answer is Lake Ladoga. When Dante gets to the second circle of hell, representing lust, he comes across many residents who passed due to love. One such person he meets is the lover of Aeneas, the hero of the Trojan War. Who is this queen who fled the tyrannous Greek lands to establish a city-state in Northeast Africa? Ten seconds. Need an answer.
Carthagia.
It's not Carthage. Huh?
Dido.
Dido is correct.
Yeah.
Second question for you. What type of fungi is a highly sought species of edible mycorrhizal mushroom that is prized in Japanese cuisine? Its name comes from Japanese for pine tree plus mushroom, but its scientific name, Tricoloma nauseosum, translates to smelly odor due to its characteristic smell that is widely considered unpleasant across the world.
Shiitake.
It's not shiitake. Jayakant.
Pass.
Passes to her.
Pass.
Passes to Shashwat. Need an answer?
Inoki.
It's not enoki. So the answer is matsutake. In the instructions for me, right under that, it says shiitake is incorrect. Please note. Question now for Shashwat. TikTok's second most followed account features which Senegalese-born Italian who rose to fame in 2020 through videos wherein he silently mocks overly complicated life hack videos. The student-based star has also featured in Juventus FC's player announcements and fiddled around in the Ferrari's garage with F1 star Carlos Sainz Jr.
Kabi.
Abhi is correct. Second question for you. Which iconic stadium, now shut down and replaced by Friends Arena, was the first to host both the Men's Football World Cup and Women's Football World Cup finals in 1958 and 1995, respectively? Located in Sulna municipality and a capital city, the stadium was renamed to Friends Arena to honor an influential local non-profit. Ten seconds.
Maracana. Maracana.
Achyuth?
Pass.
Pass.
Kunal?
The Stockholm Arena.
It's not the Stockholm Arena. The answer is the Rasunda Stadium.
Come again?
Rasunda. I put that in the chat. as well.
Oh, okay. Which country is this?
And I have no idea. Sorry. Not my question, sorry. Okay. Question for you, Jayakant. Matt Ryan stars as the titular occult detective in which DC Comics TV show that was cancelled after a single season run in 2014 to 15. He returned to reprise the role in the Arrowverse and has become a series regular in Legends of Tomorrow. The character was also portrayed by Keanu Reeves in the Big Sing in 2005 film.
Constantine.
Constantine is dead. Second question. In 2018, India's Supreme Court passed a landmark judgment striking down Section 377 of the Indian Penal Code and decriminalizing all consensual sex among adults. Litigating for the petitioners were two young lawyers for whom the judgment was not just a professional benchmark but a deeply personal win. Name either lawyer.
Uh,
10 seconds. Need an answer.
I'll say Gupta.
Pass.
It's two to one.
Pass.
It's Shashwat.
Pass.
The names are Menka Guruswamy or Arundhati Kadju. Sorry. Two questions for Kunal. What genus of fungi is responsible for the molds that give rise to blue cheese? The genus has also inspired the name for a class of antibiotics, which was discovered using the same in 1928 by a Scottish scientist.
Penicillus.
With you? This is penicillin, prompt and penicillin, so penicillin is also good. Question for Kunal again. This venue in Las Vegas was labeled by the New Yorker as the home of champions, having successfully staged many top-level boxing events over the years. What is the iconic location that many non-sport watchers might be familiar with as well, due to it being featured in many movies such as The Hangover? Ten seconds. Need an answer?
Pass.
Pass is Chachu.
Caesar's Palace.
Caesar's Palace is correct. Questions for you now, Achu. While many video games carry the Tom Clancy name, very few are actually based on his novels. Which tactical shooter game, first launched in 1998 by Clancy-owned Red Storm Entertainment, is based on his namesake 1997 book featuring the eponymous counterterrorism unit? 10 seconds. I'll need an answer.
Zero wing.
It's not zero wing. Check up.
Rainbow Six.
Rainbow Six is right. Second question for you, Achyuth. Which former Pakistan fast bowler became the country's youngest ever test captain in cricket at the age of 22? The Sultan of Swing picked up 373 wickets in tests as well as 416 in ODIs, with a strike rate only next to Dale Steyn in the history of the game. He has also subsequently coached many teams.
Imran Khan.
It's not Imran Khan. Jayakanthan.
Pass.
Assist Kunal.
Asim Akram.
It's not Azim Akram. Shashwat.
Pass.
Passes, even though there was only one left, no? Is that Imran Khan?
Waqar.
Parker Yunus.
That's
Waqar
Waqar
Yunus.
Yunus. Yes.
Oh, he became captain at 22.
Yeah, apparently. Question for you now, Shashwat. Temple OS is a open source operating system described by the writer as a revelation from God. He wrote it in a programming language which was somewhere between C and C++. Keeping in theme with the biblical nature of the OS, what did he name the language? The name is also a homophone for the central governing body of the worldwide Catholic Church. Ten seconds. Any answer?
C, like SE.
It's not that. Shoot.
The Holy See, the letter C.
It's absolutely right. Well done.
Yes. Yes.
Holy See with SE would be the name of the governing body, and Holy See is the programming language. Nice. Second question for Shashwat. Consisting of Mo Howard, his brother Shemp, and Larry Fine, this American vaudeville and comedy group were active between 1922 and 1970. What was the group called? Primarily known for their physical farce and slapstick comedy. Through the 1930s and 40s, they produced 190 short films with Columbia Pictures, their biggest legacy.
The Three Stooges.
Is correct. Yep, back to the start. Questions for Jayakanthan. Which subglacial lake in Antarctica is the largest in the continent by size? This was discovered just beneath the Russian research station, which lends its name to the lake. The name will remind you of a landmark 1961 Soviet event.
Lake Vostok.
Right. Second question for you. In 1951, who was named the Time Person of the Year award? Who was named the Time Person of the Year as the Prime Minister of Iran, who nationalized the country's oil assets and expelled Western companies, thereby triggering the Abadan crisis. In response to this, MI6 and CIA joined hands with local dissidents to overthrow his government, something they did successfully to retake control in the oil games.
Mossadegh.
Say again, please.
Mossadegh.
Mossadegh is correct. Now, two questions for you. Which 2017 DC Comics TV show that follows the adventures of Emily Locke as director of R&D at Wayne Security was cancelled after just 12 episodes in 2017? The security firm specializes in products for ordinary humans who are poised to be victims of battles between superheroes and villains, thereby creating the feeling of being bystanders, which gave the show its name. Ten seconds. Need an answer?
Leftovers.
Not leftovers. Achyuth.
Us.
Pass it to Jayakanthan.
Pass.
Pass it to Shashwat.
Pass.
Pass it. The TV show was called Powerless.
Yes.
Okay. Second question for Kunal. Upon arrival in the East Indies, Magellan and his crew of explorers joined which governor of the region in the conquest of Malacca? This governor most prominently served as the Duke of Goa and lent his name to a variety of fruit closer home, as well as a city in the US famous for balloon festivals.
Alphonse de Albuquerque.
is correct. 2 questions for Achyuth. Will Smith received his first Academy Award nomination for Best Actor for his role in which 2001 biopic? During his year preparing for the role, Smith took up Islamic studies, trained for 7 hours a day, and received dialect training to match the musical delivery of the person who was preparing.
Ali.
Ali is correct. Second question. Blank is a widely naturalized plant that is native to India, as seen in its scientific name S. indicum. It is a hardy plant that is drought tolerant and can grow in poor soils, producing edible seeds with one of the highest oil contents in the world. The seeds are protected by a capsule that bursts open when ripe, giving rise to what familiar phrase in literature?
Open sesame.
That's correct. Well done.
Nice.
Okay, 2 questions for you, Shashwat. Which former English fast bowler captained England between 1982 and 1984 in various formats of the game? He spearheaded the English bowling attack between 1971 and 84 across 90 test matches in which he took 325 wickets at a strike rate next to only Lilly at the time. He also enjoyed a successful second inning in the commentary box. Seconds.
Cowdrey.
Say again, please.
Cowdrey.
Not that. Jayakant.
Pass.
Passes to Achyuth.
Bottom.
Say again, please.
Bottom. Ian Bottom.
Not that. Kunal.
Pass.
Passes. The answer is Bob Willis. Second question for Shashwat. The Shayara Bano versus Union of India case in 2017 was regarding which practice of a certain community in India. The bench constituted to hear this important case on gender justice was remarkably plural, featuring a Sikh, a Syrian Christian, a Parsi Zoroastrian, a Muslim, and a Hindu justice. However, it was heavily criticized for failing to include a female justice.
Triple Talaq.
Okay, back to the start for the start of round 7. Blank is a spice native to Jamaica and Central America, but integral to Middle Eastern cuisine, where it lends a flavor profile similar to a combination of cinnamon, nutmeg, and clove. Although it is the dried berry of a single plant, many people mistake it to be a blend of multiple spices because of its peculiar name. What spice is this?
Allspice.
Allspice is right. Second question. Will Smith found early fame as part of which hip-hop duo consisting of himself as the MC and DJ Jeff Downs? Active from 86 to 94, they scored a string of light-hearted, inoffensive, and humorous hit singles, including the Grammy Award-winning singles Parents Just Don't Understand and Summertime. Ten seconds. I need an answer.
It's something like Easy E and Jazzy Jeff.
Say again, please.
Easy E and Jazzy Jeff.
It's not right. Kunal?
Pass.
Passes to Achyuth.
Pass.
Passes to Shashwat.
Pass.
Passes. Jayakant, you got really close. You got Jazzy Jeff, right? The duo is called Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. Easy is
Oh, okay. Shit. Okay.
yeah, Easy would be from NWA, I think.
Yeah.
Question now for Kunal. Peter Uberoi is among a handful of people from the 20th century who became Time Person of the Year without having any sort of political role. While he became the commissioner of baseball in his later career, why was he awarded the 1984 title?
For helping conduct the 1984 Los Angeles Olympics.
All that correct. It is the 1984 LA Olympics. just because it's correct. Okay? So yeah. Second question for you. When Starbucks introduced these spice-induced lattes, it led to a human cry about it how it tasted nothing like what the name suggested. However, Starbucks is not to be blamed, as the name is a misnomer that arises from the fact that the spice blend is used in a dessert pie featuring the eponymous ingredient. What spice blend? 10 seconds.
Cinnamon?
It's not cinnamon. Jayakanthan?
Pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin spice is right. Starbucks has pumpkin spice lattes. Okay, two questions for you, Achyuth. In 2005, the launch of the NYC sneaker of the Nike Skateboard Dunk City series was probably the beginning of the sneaker resell craze. What was it named after a nuisance in the city, mainly grey, featuring a small image of a blank near the heel? They resell for about 10 to 50,000 USD now.
Pigeon.
Question is correct.
Oh, nice.
Great answer.
Well done.
Second question. In 1935, which emperor was named the Time Person of the Year for leading Abyssinia through an Italian invasion? While hailed for modernizing the country, this Rastafarian icon also silenced minorities such as the Harari and Oromo, a conflict that has continued into the subsequent nation to this day.
Haile Selassie.
Selassie is correct. That's it. Two questions for you now, Shashwat, to round up round 8. Which DC Comics TV show was cancelled after only one season in 1990 to 1991, starring John Wesley John Wesley Shipp in the title role? The character and the actor, albeit in a different role, returned for a reboot of the same show in the Arrowverse in 2014. Seconds.
Flash.
Flash is correct. Maybe wait the entire 30 seconds. You got it right. Well done. Second question for you, Shashwat. What English word started out as the old French word chatepillos, meaning hairy cat? The hairy part, pillows, was replaced by an English sounding word that meant pillager, since these things were thought to pillage trees and bushes.
Caterpillar.
Caterpillar is right. Well done.
Experience.
Okay, that finishes round 8. We are starting round, sorry, that finishes round 7. We're starting round 8. This is the last round. We were tied for first place. Right? Shashwat are tied there. All of you are actually within reach, technically speaking. So this is still a pretty even game. Good luck to everybody. Last round of the league. Here we go. Which West Indian bowling all-rounder captained the West Indies in 30 test matches, although he is better known for donning the role in other formats of the game? He is the first cricketer from St. Lucia to play international cricket, after whom the cricket stadium in St. Lucia is named. Ten seconds. You can answer.
Clive Lloyd.
Say again, please.
Clive Lloyd.
Not Clive Lloyd. No.
Carl Hooper?
It's not Carl Hooper. Should.
Chris Gale.
It's not Chris Gale. Shashwat.
Us.
The answer is Darren Sammy.
Oh.
Okay. Second question for you, Jayakant. This is an esoteric programming language made of only 3 characters: the space, the tab, and the line feed. What collective name for these characters is also the name of the language? 10 seconds. Need an answer?
This is white space.
White space is right.
Oh, nice.
Nice
Done.
one.
Okay, Kunal, your last two questions for the quiz, last two direct questions for the quiz. Benny Medina is an American TV producer who was born in poverty in California and initially shuttled between a number of foster homes. His life turned around when he befriended a wealthy family in Beverly Hills who allowed him to live in a garage on their property and attend the nearby public school. Medina's experiences of transferring to this wealthy environment is the loose basis for which Will Smith vehicle that is set to be remade in 2022. Ten seconds. Any answer?
Something like
Any answer?
Captain Jack.
It's not Captain Jack. Jayakant?
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
That is correct. The remake is called just Bella, so I would have got any points, but it's Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Two questions now for Kunal. Sorry, second question for Kunal. Sorry about that. Who is the only Hollywood personality with a top 10 followed account on TikTok with around 57 billion followers? An equally prolific figure on YouTube, he also had a good year as an actor with his performance in a biopic among the Academy Award frontrunners this year. Ten seconds. I need an answer.
Ryan Reynolds.
It's not Ryan Reynolds. Achyuth?
Adam Driver.
It's not Adam Driver. Shashwat?
Pass.
Passes to Jayakant.
Pass.
Passes. I'm very glad about this. Very happy about this. This is a gotcha of a question. The answer is Will Smith.
With the thought of
Damn.
Thank you. Two questions now for Achyuth. The Beijing National Stadium, officially called the National Stadium, is an 80,000 capacity stadium in Beijing. The stadium was designed for use throughout the 2008 Summer Olympics and Paralympics and will be used again in the 2022 Winter Olympics and Paralympics. What is its common name due to its resemblance to something found in nature?
Bird's Nest Stadium.
Is correct. Okay, your second and last question for the league. In 1992, Banwari Devi, a Dalit frontline worker, was engaged in a campaign to curb child marriages, female feticide, and dowry in her home state of Rajasthan. A brutal incident forced her into a legal battle, which galvanized the women's movement and finally gave rise to what framework in 1997? Ten seconds. Need an answer?
The Prevention of Sexual Harassment Act.
He's absolutely right.
Okay.
Done. Brings us to our very last set. There are two questions to go. Both are directed at Shashwat. He needs both of these right to tie with Jayakant. Otherwise, Jayakant is a new winner of the league. Good luck to Shashwat. Let's go. Sold as 3 packs of highs, mids, and lows, these Nike skateboarding shoes were inspired by a well-known, albeit unlikely source. While all three had different colors, they were united by soft brown fur panels all over. What was the inspiration? Ten seconds. Need an answer, Shashwat?
say the Three Musketeers.
It's not the Three Musketeers. Jayakant?
These are the New York Metro.
It's not New York Metro either. Kunal?
Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
It's not Ginsburg. Achyuth?
Goldilocks.
Goldilocks is right. It's Goldilocks and the three bears, giving us the three packs of highs, mids, and lows, and the brown fur on the
Oh,
shoulder explained by Goldilocks.
Yes,
It's actually, this finalizes the result for our quiz, but let's quickly do the last question as well. Shashwat, question for you. In 1927, who became the very first person to be awarded Time Person of the Year? Time Person of the Year. He was named so after he completed the first solo transatlantic flight in May that year by piloting his monoplane Spirit of St. Louis from New York to Paris.
Charles Lindbergh.
Is correct. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of the B612 League. In fourth place is Kunal with 8 points. Third place, Achyuth with 12. Shashwat just behind at 15 points, but the winner of our tier as well as our league is Jayakant. Well done. Congratulations.
Congrats, JK. Congrats, Shashwat.
Yeah.
Congrats,
Congratulations.
Shashwat. Well played out.
Good game,
Great
everyone.
game. Great game, everyone. Thanks,
Great
Harman
game.
and Vikas for this league and
Yeah,
for the
thanks,
final
guys. It's been a lot of fun.
Thanks, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks a lot for doing this, guys.
Are there any extras?
I'm sorry?
Are there any extras?
Yeah, there are a bunch of tiebreakers, like a ton of them, because you did not want this to end with a tie. So
Alright.
I've got nothing but tiebreaks if you want to see them.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do this. You'll have to open your chat now, I think.
Yeah.
Posting the questions there. Yeah, what do I do for the streamers? Streamers will not be able to see questions, I guess. Hard luck. Please just show me out. In the ninth and final circle of hell, at its very center, who does Dante encounter? The son of the goddess of dawn, Aurora, has since had its name absorbed in theology as a name for the six-winged devil or Satan. In ancient Greek texts, the name wasn't a proper noun, but rather a word for the morning star or Venus.
Lucifer?
Lucifer is right. Trouble with chat. Okay. In 2004, Will Smith starred in iRobot, a sci-fi thriller that borrows several characters and ideas and its title from the works of Isaac Asimov, but has a completely original plot. In fact, the movie's premise of robots turning on their creators was one that appears infrequently in Asimov's work, as he has said on multiple occasions that he intended to protest against the blank complex, a term that he coined for the tendency of popular culture to portray a fear of mechanical men. What is this complex called? An allusion to another work of literature.
Man.
Frankenstein?
Frankenstein is right. I should start posting this in the chat for the stream as well. Let me just try that.
Does the PDF not have the questions?
PDF. Oh yeah, good point. Good point. Since I've shared the PDF, I don't need to do this anymore. Thank you. Makes it much easier. Okay. A tie break for you. What spice mix or seasoning consists of a blend of salt with a variety of spices, most common being cayenne pepper and garlic, popular among the French in the Americas. The term may also generally refer to the cuisine developed by the French-speaking Acadians who moved to Louisiana, or in general refer to the French-speaking ethnic group mainly living in Louisiana.
Cajun?
Cajun is right.
Nice.
Which brand of liquor are the world's largest producers of soju, the South American drink? The brand has also consistently been among the top 3 selling spirits on the planet, alongside Tanqueray of Philippines, thanks to the advent of the K-wave. Finally got one question that you guys are struggling with.
Ari, no, that's the K network. Ari Ram.
Okay. I mean, I don't really have many clues to give over here. It's a fairly Korean sounding name. The answer is Jinro.
Yeah.
Jinro.
Sue Grafton is an American crime fiction writer known for her alphabet series of books, where each book's title is an alphabet followed by what it stands for, such as A for alibi, B is for burglar, etc. What work completes the 7th book, that is G is for black? The term is slang for a private detective that comes from the fact that they often wore a street-style footwear with thick, soft, and quiet rubber soles.
Gum something.
Gumshoe. Nice. Gumshoe.
Gumshoe is right.
Nice.
Okay, and we've got our last tiebreak question. A work coined by Robert Heinlein in his 1961 novel A Stranger in a Strange Land is described by the OED as to understand intuitively or by empathy, to establish rapport with. What word did he coin that has entered the programming context to mean someone's gone beyond the surface level understanding to make the code a part of them? Grok is correct. If these didn't work, if the tiebreakers hadn't worked out, then we then had your questions, which I think you might have fun with. In which year did the following events happen? Whoever's closest to will basically get points for this. In which year did the following events take place? Sinking of the Titanic, establishment of the Republic of China, and Roald Amundson's announcement that he has reached the South Pole successfully.
1912.
Areva, okay. Clearly, this would not have helped. And finally, the last tiebreak and the last year question. Let me see how badly we did with the tiebreaker. In which year did the following events take place? Don Quixote is published by Cervantes. Guy Fawkes executes the Gunpowder Plot, and the reign of Jahangir begins.
1605.
1605.
Perfect, wonderful. These questions
Super,
are
super.
absolutely
Very
useless. So good thing they didn't come to this. We would have resulted in a tie. Well done, everybody. And we'll see you in the next season, I guess, which hopefully we'll be announcing around March.
Sure.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks,
Okay,
Harman.
yeah. Thanks, guys.
For sure. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.